What's up YouTube, what's poppin'? We are finally dropping a settings video for controllers chat. If you want to know what I'm using currently and how I'm playing and dropping these 20 bombs on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna be telling you how I do it and what settings I'm using, what aim assist settings I'm using, and basically guide you guys through it. And also I'll be showing you guys how to overclock your controller to basically drop the delay on your input latency on your PS4, or I'm not sure if it works on Xbox controllers, but how to overclock basically your PS4 controller on PC. By the way, this video is not only just for PC players, it also will help console players, as well as the aim assist settings or controller settings is also on console exactly the same. As the only part where the video will differ a little bit is basically on the overclock portion, but I will keep that for the end of the video. So now the first thing you gotta do is head over to your settings tab. You go over to settings and you can go over to controller, right? So currently I've got my controller unplugged because I prefer using my keyboard and mouse to basically just go through the settings. But just to show you guys, currently my button layout that I'm playing on is basically standard. The only thing I do have swapped over is my melee and my tactical sprint. The reason for this is I prefer to press the sprint button on here and the knife on my left stick. The reason I want the knife on my left stick is because I have a habit of clinching my controller. I don't know if you guys have that same issue. So when I clinch my controller, I end up mounting stuff or knifing by random. So when you stand still and you press the sprint button, nothing basically happens. So that's basically the reason why I run it. This is more of a preference, so pick the layout that fits you most. I know a lot of people like to play with, I believe, Jumper Tactical. This was the one I played before I got back buttons. I got myself a little bit of attachment here at the back of my controller. The reason why I have back buttons on my controller is because I do not want to leave my aim stick basically, and I want my thumb to always stay on it and never basically leave it. And the only way to basically achieve that is by having this back button. So I have my slide on the one side and my jump on the other side, right? So this is basically all just preference. And if we go over to dead zones to show you guys what it means, you will see there's a little thing moving here. You can see here there's a little thing moving. So currently I like to play with it at about 50%. The reason why I like it around 50%, so aim assist is technically starts properly kicking in anything from, I think, between 70 and 50%. It also means with the left stick max being at 50%, that I don't have to move my stick all the way to the left in order to activate my aim assist. I just move it a little bit, and that's technically my secret sauce to this whole scenario, right? So on the left stick, I basically want 0 minimum dead zone. The reason why you want the 0 is because if you have stick drift on your left stick, because remember with the aim assist settings that I will be giving you is that you want your left stick to have stick drift. If it has stick drift, aim assist will automatically kick in at most scenarios. You will actually feel like you have aimbot at certain stages, right? So now on your right stick, here you want to move it to the point where you have no stick drift. For me, I have no stick drift at 3. I suggest starting at 1, moving all the way up till you eventually see your character stop drifting away to the right or to the left. Alright, and then with the left trigger and the right trigger, I basically prefer having it on 13, because I don't currently have like click triggers or have trigger stoppers or whatever you call it. So I know what a lot of people like to do is they like to end up changing their shooting buttons from their triggers, their bumpers, or what do you guys call it, R1, L1. It's just more responsive. You kind of want on first person shooters your triggers to be extremely responsive, and that's one way to go about it. Okay, now let's go to the next phase, which is aiming. So quick few things I have to explain to you guys on aiming. You want to play on a sensitivity anywhere between 5 to about 8. Most of the pros currently play on those settings. These are your flipping demons that you see on TV, which you see everywhere. They play between 5 and 8. There's a reason why they do that. Like the best movement with it, with the best aim with it. You can crank it up to higher than that if you want to. Obviously, with the higher you put your sensitivity, the less you will feel the aim assist. So it's gonna be more reliant on you making sure you flick correctly on those shots. So obviously if you master a higher sensitivity, then go for it, have fun with it, right? So I like to play on 6.6 currently. With your ADS multiplier, I would suggest if you are new to controller or you're having issues with not having nice aim assist, to have it on 0.85. This basically gives you the nice smooth ADS. It will basically only slow down while you aim, and this is where you see most of us like tracking people perfectly. I only recently swapped over to a 1 ADS multiplier because I wanted 1-to-1 ratio when I'm basically aiming, right? So I would highly suggest keep it on a 0.8 or 0.85. This will give you the best feeling on the slowdown when you ADS, and you'll be tracking people way better. But yeah, I like these settings and it's working currently nice for me. So let's go back down. Aim response curve type. So this is extremely important because this matters on what kind of player you are. So if you are a player who likes to run through buildings, slide past people, do this camera flippy YY stuff that people like to do, I would suggest playing dynamic. Dynamic basically has a way of ramping up your speed on your aim stick quick to keep up and track the people. If you are new to the game and you are basically just starting, standard is the way I basically started on. Standard basically gives you a slower rate of when you start moving your stick. So as soon as you start moving that stick to the right or left, you will have a little slower start and then go higher to a more faster speed. With dynamic, immediately it's faster if you press it all the way to the right. So this is a cool thing to know. Linear, I don't know, people who's weird use linear shit. I've never played linear. I've tried it. From my understanding is it's like a 1-to-1 ratio to your aim stick. It never changes. It will always be the same standard aim across the board. But yeah, I prefer dynamic. Most pros prefer dynamic. They believe that this gives you the best type of curve type. With curve type, I mean, so when you aim, like it goes faster, so depending on how you move your stick. But dynamic is what most pros use. Since I switched over to it, I cannot play anything else. Dynamic is the best for me. But yeah, if you are new to the game, go to standard and then eventually change to dynamic if you like the close quarter gunfights. If you like more stay back and aim kind of fights, then standard will be for you. Everything else I have on default. And then the most important setting for aim assist chat will be to have your aim assist set to default. It basically gives you that rotational aim assist. The rotational aim assist is the most strongest aim assist you have, and the way it works, chat, if I can teach you guys the way it works, maybe let me take you guys to a dummy. So the way it works, chat, is you have to move your left stick. Your left stick will basically do the aiming for you. You see that? It basically keeps your guy rotating on the person. So if this guy goes past me, you notice how it rotates by itself. So let me show you guys basically my hand. So look at my hand right now, right? You guys can see my hand. Just watch this. I'm gonna go to the other side. I'm not gonna touch my right stick, which is my aim stick. I'm just gonna go like this. Look here. Notice. More dramatic one. Notice how he moves by himself. That's not me aiming. My finger's not on here. So how rotational aim assist works is if you aim on a target shit, you need to make sure you always move left to right. That will basically give you the best rotational aim assist. It will keep the perfect track. Don't stand still like this. Don't stand still like this in the suit. By the way, I've got my thing set dead zone set to 0, which is where this comes in. Look, I don't even need to touch my stick sometimes. It will sometimes just still aim for me. So basically, just to show you guys how easy it is to track this guy. And this is all aim assist doing this. Alright, so having your aim assist type set to default basically gives you that rotational aim assist, and that's what most pros use. However, there is some players who likes to use Black Ops. What I feel when I played with Black Ops, what makes the difference is the default one has a bubble this big, basically, of how when it slows down your aim, and Black Ops is a little bit of a smaller bubble, so you kind of have more accuracy in a sense, but the further it is, the less you feel that small bubble, if that makes sense, where the big bubble plays a bigger role. So kind of play between the two, Black Ops and default, and see how it goes. But I prefer default. I think it's the best. Rotational aim assist is the best you can basically get. And I don't know if anyone is interested in knowing my gameplay settings. I will just scroll through this. I'm not going to explain this. This is complete preference, but this is basically how I have everything set up. So now that we're officially done with the console and PC part of this tutorial, I'm gonna go over now to the overclocking your controller, how to overclock it, and basically getting the lower latency on the controller, because I know some people have been complaining and DMing me how do I get that input delay decreased on my PS4 or Xbox controller. Okay, so there is 2 programs you want to download to basically change and test your input delay on your controller. So the first thing you want to do is basically check if you have a big input delay. If you don't, then you probably do not need to do this. If you have an input delay higher than 10, then you can most likely do this. Alright, the program you're gonna need is DS4 Windows, or whatever program that will indicate to you controller's input delays. I know X input or DS4 Windows is a super good program to confirm what's happening there. And then a lot of mice being the second program to overclock basically your USB port, which will reduce the input delay on your controller. Alright, I will put the links down below in the description on the YouTube video. So the first place you're gonna go to is DS4 Windows. So the first program you're gonna want to go get is DS4 Windows. You can basically click on download as soon as you're on the website. Like I said, the link is down below in my description. Once the program is done, download it. Okay, so after downloading the program, you want to extract it to wherever you want on your PC. Go into DS4 Windows. You can go in DS4 Windows. The program looks like that. Open it up. It's gonna ask you to basically download it. You click on it. Update it, sorry, because it needs a framework, .NET framework it requires to install or work on the program. So you can just download it and run it. If you don't trust the website itself, you can go and download it from Windows itself. So I'm gonna install the .NET frame. This will basically make the DS4 program work, so we can check the input delay check, how the program works. Basically, you just follow through this guide here. So we're gonna install the driver for the program. Okay, after it's installed, it's gonna ask me to reboot my PC, so we're gonna reboot the PC chat. We'll be back just now. So DS4 Windows is now officially installed after the reboot. Let's launch the program. Alright, so after the program is now finally opened up after the reboot, you will see your controller picking up here. You can go to profiles, click on default. It's the default profile on your controller or on the program for your controller. So what you can do now, you can go to controller readings. Here's basically where you can see the input delay on your controller. So you can see I have a 1.4, a 1.5 input delay currently on my controller. So when I use it, as I'm pressing every button, how it's picking up on the screen. You can also check out your stick drift. If you have any stick drift, you can see I have a little bit of a bad stick drift on my right stick. Not so bad on the left one. So now we want to overclock it. So in some cases, people will have a way bigger input delay. My current input delay is not that bad, chat. This is already like very good for a controller. But let's say you are not happy with it and you want to overclock it still further than that. Alright, so this is just a way to check it. So close the program. So now you're gonna go download a program called Lord of Mice. So let me quickly just get there. Again, the link will be in my bio for this program. So Lord of Mice, once you're in, you can click here on code. You can just say download the zip file. You can then extract that zip file wherever you want to on your PC. In my scenario, I've already extracted it in my folder here. You go Lord of Mice, go driver, and you launch the setup one. Okay, so I'm launching the setup. So now once you're here, you want to click on mice and go to all. You find basically your controller. If you're not sure which one your controller is, keep an idea of what's changing on here. So I'm gonna plug it out. I'm gonna see what changed. I've noticed that the thing called wireless headset or something like that disappeared. Here we go. This one here disappeared on me. Headset earphone. So all you gotta do is you're gonna click filtered on that device, meaning we are now filtering on this one. You're gonna click the polar rate you want to set it to. I want to set it to 1000, and then you want to install the services on the controller. So let's install it. Once the install is basically done, it's gonna ask you to restart your controller. I'm restarting it. So boom, you can see that interval just changed to 1 instead of 5. So now my controller should be overclocked, or my USB port where the controller is in should be overclocked. Let me just go back into the program, into DS4 Windows or whatever program you're using to check your input delay. Profiles, double click on that, go controller readings. You will now see I have now under 1 millisecond delay. It's 0.5 input delay on my PS4 controller. So for you guys who are PC users, this is basically a guide how to drop your input delay, and this is quite effective. I don't know if a lot of you guys will feel the difference from a one to under one input delay, but some people have said that they have over 10 to 20 millisecond delay, which is a lot, because remember your screen response time, my screen response time is 1 millisecond, so I want it to be close to 1. That means it's a 1-to-1 ratio of how I'm playing my games. So chat, I hope this video was informative. If you guys liked it and it was somewhat of a help to you, click the like button and let me know what's happening. Let me know if it worked, let me know if it didn't work, let me know what you're struggling with. Maybe I can help you out in the comment section. For you guys who has not yet subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it. I'm gonna try and do more guides like this where I can help you guys out every season. I will be releasing a graphics guide for more FPS on Call of Duty. If you guys want to have that, it will probably be out soon after this video. I hope you guys enjoy this content. Have a lekker day and be lekker, chat.
Have a good one, guy. Don't have a good day. Have a great day.